In this lecture, I'll be showing you how the tooltip mark works in Tableau. Tooltips are a great way to add context or information to your view. You can include static and dynamic text. Basically, it provides you a summary of the data that you have selected. So let's say we were to hover over one of these bars. So we created this basic chart that shows subcategory and sum of sales. So if we were to hover over the phone, we're going to notice that it is currently not showing anything in our tooltip. So it just shows the subcategory, but the items for sales, discount, and quantity are blank. So in order to add information onto the tooltip, what we will be doing is we're gonna drag in quantity and discount, and let's also include profit. All you have to do is drag it inside the tooltip. Since we already have sales in the view, we don't need to drag this onto our tooltip. Since it's already in the view, we can just include it through the tooltip. So as you can see, currently there's nothing is here. The items are blank. So you would click on tooltip, and over here first you're going to notice that we have the customization options. We can change the font, we can change the size, the color, we can change the alignment, and so on. So what we're going to do to include the sum of sales is first we're going to click on insert, and since sum of sales is already in our view, all we need to do is select that option within the tooltip. So we're going to click on sum of sales to appear right here. Discount, we can just go insert, discount, and we can also include the quantity and the profit. A few additional things that we can add to our tooltip are we can add the data source name, the sheet name, the workbook name. We can insert the username, the subcategory. Subcategory is already within our tooltip, but you can include any of these different options onto our chart. A few other things that we can add over here are these options right here. So we have three options. The first one says show tooltip, and we have two options under it. We have the responsive or on hover. The difference between these two is the responsive one. Let's click on OK. So the responsive one works once you hover over one of these bars. You're going to notice that these figures appear instantaneously. But if we want it to take a little bit of time before they appear, so what we can do is we can select the hover option, click on OK, and you're going to notice that once we are hovering over any of these different bars, the tooltip does not appear unless we were to stop for a little bit, then it will appear. Otherwise it doesn't appear. So this is one of the customizations that you can make. Another one that is useful is the include command buttons. Currently you're going to notice that once we were to select these bars, we notice that there is no option. But once we were to turn on the include command buttons, we're going to notice that it gives you the option to keep only, exclude, so we can filter if we were to include the command buttons. Sometimes, depending on the ask of your manager or the kind of dashboard you're creating, you would either turn this option on or off, depending on if you want the consumers of the dashboard to be able to exclude or add filtering. So in our case, by default, it is checked. The include command buttons is checked, but we had turned it off previously. So we can check it back and we can click on OK. And as you can see, it shows each of these different measures onto our chart. We can see the discount, quantity, profit. We can see the name of the workbook, Passing BI, and we can see the name of the sheet, which is sheet 8. Currently we haven't assigned it a name, but if we were to assign a name, let's assign tooltip mark. Now once we hover over it, it shows you the name of the sheet within our tooltip.